Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, first graders. Mr. Mortimer here. Today for math, we're going to talk about time. We're going to talk about telling time. And I want you to think for a second, why do we need to know how to tell time? That's right. We need to know how to tell time so we know when we go to school, when mom and dad, they need to know when they go to work. We eat lunch around a certain time. And my absolute favorite, we go to bed at a certain time. You probably hear mom and dad tell you all the time, it is bedtime. Well, that means it's a certain time of the night and we need to go to bed. So we're going to talk about time today. Specifically, we're going to talk about MD13A, and that is I can tell and write time to the hour and half hour using analog and digital clocks. Today, we're going to break it down, though. We're just going to look at telling time to the hour using an analog clock. So you might wonder, well, what is an analog clock? That's what we're going to talk about today. And let me show you a little video of what we're going to be doing today.
Time to the hour. The clock has the numbers 1 to 12. The hour hand is shorter. It points to the hour. The minute hand is longer. It points to the minutes.
The hour hand is on 3. It is 3 o'clock.
Look at the clock. What time is it? The hour hand is on 9. The minute hand is on 12. The new hour starts on 12, so there are no minutes to count. It is 9 o'clock.
Very nice. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at some ways to be able to tell time. So one thing that we want to look at here is our clocks. So what is an analog clock? An analog clock, like they said, has all the numbers on it. These are the clocks that you probably see in the school all the time. They're in the classrooms, they're in the PE room, they are in the gym, they are in the art room, they're in the music room, they're all over the school, and you see these most common in places like that. So this is called an analog clock. Again, we have the shorthand, which is the hour hand, and it points to the hour. We have the long blue hand in this case, and it points to the minutes. So today when we look at this, we always want to start with looking at our hour hand first. We always start by writing it with our hour. So if I look over here, I'll go with blue today. So we have our clock here for number one. The first thing I want to do when I look at it, I want to look at my shorthand, which is my hour hand, and that is pointing to the 9. My minute hand, the long blue one, it's pointing to the 12. Anytime that long minute hand is pointing to the 12, we say it as o'clock. So today on this one, it is 9 o'clock. I can see my minute hand. Ooh, let's see if I can get a 9. Perfect. Cool. So on my next one, I do the same thing. I always want to start with the hour hand, the shorthand. So I look, my hour hand is pointing to the 2. My minute hand is pointing again to the 12. So again, it is the o'clock. So I need to know that it is 2 o'clock. Let's see if I can write it 2 with this. Not bad, not bad. So let's look at number 3. So when I go down to number 3, again, what do I start with? That's right, I start with the hour hand. I start with the shorthand. So I look, my shorthand's pointing to the 11. My minute hand is pointing to the 12. So it is o'clock. So I know it is 11 o'clock. My next one, again, what do I start with? I start with the hour hand, the shorthand. That's right. It is pointing at the 6. I look at my minute hand. It is pointing to the 12, so it's o'clock. So I know it is 6 o'clock. So let's do a little practice here. And I need your help with this. So when we do this, oop, wrong. Let me go back. So when we do this, I want you to help me out with finding what time it is. So again, I'm going to grab my pen here. This time I'll use orange. So I want to look here. Number 5. Again, what do I start with? You're right, I start with the hour hand, the shorthand. So I look at my hour hand, it is pointing to the 1. My minute hand, again, is pointing to the 12, so it's o'clock, so I say it is 1 o'clock. Look over here at number 6. My hour hand is pointing to the 8. My minute hand is pointing to the 12, so it is o'clock. So I know it is 8 o'clock. Let's see if I can make an 8 with this. Not bad, not bad. I'm using my mouse, guys. I'm getting used to this just as much as you guys are. So learning curve for all of us. Look at number 7, taking my time here. So I look here, I got my hour hand pointing to the 4, my minute hand is pointing to the 12, so it is 4 o'clock. I want you to work on these next ones. So number 8, I want you to try to solve it. Tell mom and dad, if they're sitting right there, what time this clock says. Good. Again, I look at my hour hand, my minute hand, they're both pointing to the 12, so I know it's going to be 12 o'clock. Coming down here, number 9, give yourself a second, take your time, tell mom and dad, what time does number 9 say? That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour. It is my hour hand, my short one is pointing to the 5. Ooh, that's a big 5. So it's pointing to the 5, my minute hand is still pointing to the 12, so it is o'clock. Number 10, I look here, my hour hand, short hand, is pointing to the 10. My minute hand is pointing to the 12, so it is 10 o'clock. Very nice. Number 11, it is my hour hand, again, pointing to my 7. My minute hand is pointing to my 12, so it's o'clock, I know that. So it is 7 o'clock. My last clock on here is pointing, my short hour hand is pointing to the 3. My minute hand is pointing to the 12, so I know it is 3 o'clock. Okay, so today when you get done with this, I want you to hop off, get on IXL, and you are going to look at U2. So it's going to be doing the same thing that we just practiced here today as a little added bonus. I want you to message your, if you can reply to this YouTube video. If you can't, then go ahead and message your teacher. Tell them, what time do we start school every day? What time do we normally start school? Have fun, enjoy it, and we'll see you tomorrow.